South Africa is the capital of Africa, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Economically, it runs this continent. What happens in South Africa influences the rest of the continent. The strategy being deployed by South African business and South African government impacts the whole of the African continent. So that is why South Africa becomes central, important, and very critical to talk about for all Africans, because this country is the seat of power of the African continent.
Indeed, I belong South Africa, and South Africans have played a vital role to the growth of Africa. Without South Africa, there is no Africa, and we all can testify to that. Meanwhile, there's this video trending on social media, people saying that the white people are the reason why South Africa is developed. And trust me, if South Africa ladies send them back to school. Let's take a look at these videos, and please do not forget to like the video, share, and subscribe.
A lot of South Africans don't understand why we foreigners, African foreigners, end up talking about South Africa and poking our nose into South Africa's business. South Africa is the capital of Africa, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Economically, it runs this continent. What happens in South Africa influences the rest of the continent. The strategy being deployed by South African business and South African government impacts the whole of the African continent. So that is why South Africa becomes central, important, and very critical to talk about for all Africans, because this country is the seat of power of the African continent. And we believe that this seat of power has the ability to empower the continent so that it doesn't become dependent on South Africa, or it has the ability to dominate the continent in a way that makes people dependent on South Africa. So you look at Congo, for instance. They're thinking of leaving SADC, but they've already gone to the East African Commission or something.
That economic bloc.
Yeah, that economic bloc in the East. And the reason they gave for leaving is they said that SADC is all about South African dominance. Whereas if we go and join Kenya and the other East African countries, it's all about mutual development and mutual growth.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in business meetings or political meetings between our leaders, many leaders are always saying to the South African government, as long as South Africa is dominating and dominant and destroying the competitiveness of other African countries, you're always going to have refugees. You're always going to have Africans coming to your continent, to your country. And if your media is consistently creating the impression that it is not your dominance that is pulling people here and destroying the rest of the continent, but it is mismanagement of the rest of the continent, your people will always continue to resent the rest of Africa until we start having equitable development.
South Africa is only developed because of white people. Let's unpack. So I was scrolling on Twitter when I saw this tweet. Why is South Africa so developed? Is it because the white man stayed far longer compared to other countries, or what? That Chris Brown show they're having tonight looks like a concert in the West. Bro, if the white man stayed in Kenya till the 90s, we could be miles ahead. Look at us. We only have one superhighway since independence. We don't even have a stadium that meets FIFA standards. Mzungu, make a better, whatever. Mzungu means white person. So I'm assuming they're saying white people would make it better. You guys don't think it's crazy to put your oppressors on a pedestal and say, maybe they should have oppressed us a little bit more? And for me, that's not the only reason this conversation bothers me. It also bothers me because, once again, like many other conversations that happen online, it lacks nuance. First of all, to say South Africa was only built by one race is incorrect. It is historically inaccurate. Black people had to have their land stolen and their resources stolen in order for one race to be more superior than the other. Secondly, labor had to be exploited. It is our ancestors' labor that built South Africa to what it is. It's the indentured servants that they brought from various parts of the world, like India, China. It's the enslaved people who then became colored people. It's very simplistic to say, oh, this country is only developed because of white people. They are the ones who built this country. Without them, you'd be nothing. That is also very anti-black. What you're saying is that black people, African people, are incapable of running societies properly, which is false. Before colonization, we were running societies successfully. Before capitalism, before all of this nonsense. And I know people look at the state of Africa and they say, yeah, but the corruption, but the whatever. But it's like all of this is by design. It's by design. If you just read into the history of the World Bank, the IMF, and how they created structural adjustment programs in order to keep African societies at the bottom, then you'll understand that everything that happens is literally by design. It's not because Black people are incapable. It's not because Africa is incapable of having good leaders. It is by design. And on the part of white people building South Africa, it sounds very similar to the rhetoric that people say about Black Americans when they disparage how their ancestors and they have played a role in building America to what it is. It's such a racist and anti-Black way to remove people from the labor and the efforts that they've put into actually making a country what it is. I think what people are looking to say is that since there are so many white people in South Africa and we live in such a racist society where capital follows capital, and because white people hold majority of the capital in South Africa, more capital will obviously be invested in South Africa than any other African country. Therefore, we've had more opportunities for development, but that does not mean that white people developed South Africa, especially considering the fact that a lot of Black people did not have access to basic needs like electricity, water, sanitation, education, etc., until a Black government took hold of South Africa. But either way, coming online to speak about how you wish you were colonized longer is crazy. Can Africans stop? At this point, the conversation is not productive and it's not helping anyone.
What is so important about being South African? What a question. Very interesting question indeed. And I think this is a question you're probably not serious when you're asking this. You're probably just asking it because you want someone to give you an answer, and I'll give you an answer. Being South African is so beautiful because we're from a country of people who are resilient. Who, when we're unhappy about something, we actually stand up for it and we fight for it. We don't rush to other people's countries to flock there. We know how to exercise our democracy, when it's time to exercise our democracy. And when it's time to stand together as South Africans, no matter how many differences we can have 50,000 different races. But when it's time to defend South Africa, South Africans will come through. Of course, we are different, and we know that there are South Africans who always throw us under the bus because they want to sound woke. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, it doesn't take anything from the majority of South Africans. South Africa is rated as one of the most beautiful countries in the world. South Africa's economy is mentioned amongst the best in the world. South Africa has produced the richest man in the world. South Africa, in terms of sports, is one of the biggest sporting countries in the world. In terms of music, South Africa is one of the biggest music countries in the world. In terms of producing actors and actresses that take over the global stage, South Africa is trusted with doing that. In terms of being able to create a system that has the best education in the world, South Africa is trusted with doing that. That's why we'll have all kinds of countries come and have exchange with South Africa to come here and study and so forth, because we're South Africa. I mean, South Africa has some of the most beautiful women in the world. South Africa has some of the strongest men in the world who know what it's like to wake up every morning and work hard. South Africa is ranked as one of the best travel destinations in the world. That is South Africa. South Africa has some of the highest rankings in all the beauty pageants in the world. Miss World, Miss Universe, South Africa is there. South Africa is multi-diverse, and even throughout diversity, one thing that will unite us is the fact that we're South African. So everything put aside, we will fight with each other, we will scrape each other, but when it's time to stand up for South Africa, we stand up for South Africa. It's just a pity that we've got a democracy that allows people to come to South Africa and do as the people wish, because, I mean, we're a country that's been too friendly, too kind, and too welcoming to people, to the point that they felt that they're entitled to certain things that belong to South Africans. And when South Africans finally decided that it's time for us now to stand up for what is ours, because we're going to end up losing everything that belongs to us, then South Africa became xenophobic. That's how South Africa became xenophobic. When we said it's no longer South Africa for free for all, it's South Africa for South Africans, then South Africa became xenophobic. So if you ask me what is so special about South Africa, everything. And I mean, everything is special about South Africa, from the smallest of things to the biggest of things. Yes, we're not saying that we're a perfect country. We've got our own issues and our own problems, but it takes nothing away from who we are. And who we are is a nation of people who are proud of who they are. It's a nation of people who will never run away to run away from their problems. Instead, we always face our problems head on, and we always tackle them. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing now, in making sure that we keep South Africa for South Africans. And we're going to fight that until the bitter end, because it's time now that South Africa is the big nation, the proud nation that it is, instead of a nation where everyone can come and do as they please and then turn around and feel like they're entitled to what South Africans should have. We only have one South Africa, and it belongs to us. And that's why being a South African is such a flex. Love you, South Africa.
Honestly, it is a big flex being in South Africa. Tell me one reason in the comment section, as a South African, why you are not proud of your country. I don't think there's any South Africa who is not proud of where it's coming from, because your country is far ahead a lot of country. In Africa, you guys are topping the list. Don't joke. When it comes to a lot of things, nobody can compete with South Africans. We all know that. So I don't see the reason why anybody coming from South Africa will say, I am not proud of where you are coming from. Your system is working. Your governments are all trying. Yes, I know you want them to do more for you. But compared to where I'm coming from as a Nigerian, my brother, my sister, if I have 1/4 of what you guys have in your country, we will be thanking God every day of our life. We don't have anything to write home about. Our system is not working. We don't have 24 hours electricity. Our healthcare system, there's nothing to write home about. Educational system is zero. In fact, security is killing us. So there's a lot of things that we are facing in Nigeria as a Nigerians. So if you're South Africa, my sister, my brother, raise your shoulder up. You guys are enjoying. I wish I have the privilege to change where I'm from, but I cannot change it all. I can't. So if you're in South Africa, please be proud of where you come from. If you are not, we are going to change. You have to be a Nigerian. I have to be South African. But I'm just joking. But in all of this, everyone needs to be proud of where it's coming from. I would also love to see your comments on the comment section of what you also think of this video. And please, at this point, if you have not liked this video, please do more by liking the video, and don't forget to share so that more people can see this video. And please, if this is the first time you're coming across this channel, please do not make it your last by subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.